Hello, students. We are basically getting into lab assignment number 1 for studio recording 1. And this is going to be creating your first session and basically learning where to put and how to organize your first session. So basically we start out over here. You can see we have a drive here. And inside that drive, I have made a folder to put our sessions in, Studio Recording 1 Labs. All right, so right now that folder is empty. All right, so we're going to put something in there. So we go over here. I have my Pro Tools icon over here in my dock so I can access this quickly. And I go up here to the File menu and create a new session. First thing we need to do when we make a session, the absolute first thing is to name the session properly. Never save anything as an untitled session. So J's SR1 Lab 1. And then we're going to put the session where it goes. So we'll see over here, we're going to put it in that MAI Labs drive and inside the Studio Recording 1 Labs folder. Now, I will need to make a folder because I'm going to put all of my labs inside this one folder. So these are going to be J's SR1 Labs. So all 3 of my labs will end up being in one folder together as they should be. So in the end, every student should have a folder that has their name and then SR1 Labs on it. All right, so now I open that. That means it's going to put it there. So I think the assignment was to select the sample rate 40/1 and 24 bits. So let's do that. Let's create the session. All right, now we've created the session, we've located it. Now we need to create our tracks. You'll see it tells you to create some tracks. The quick way to do this without using a shortcut is just go to the track menu at the top. You look at the top, there's your Pro Tools menu. It's got a lot of sub menus there, so new. So I think the assignment is to do 2 mono audio tracks. Then it says to do 1 stereo audio track. So hit the plus here. And I'm supposed to do a stereo aux input. And then I am supposed to do a stereo master fader. So these are all the types of tracks that you typically use when you record and mix songs. So here, the next thing we want to do is actually name our tracks. So here's our 2 windows. There's our edit window here. There's our mix window. I typically label the tracks like this. I can double click on one and I'll put vocal 1. I hit next, go vocal 2. And then say I'm going to put my beat or music track on, or drum beat or whatever you might import into this track. So put beat on this track. And next track is an aux return. That's where we put like the return for an echo or reverb. And we'll put a reverb here, or it could have been an echo. So now we've created the session and we've created our tracks and we've labeled our tracks. You always want to label your tracks. You always want to label your session, and you always want to create a folder to put a group of sessions in. When you make a Pro Tools session, Pro Tools will make automatically a folder for that session. So all the components are already in a folder for you. So your song folder will have several things in a folder. But if you're doing multiple songs, that's why we created J's SR1 Lab. So now I can go up here and I can close the session and it'll prompt me to save it. And I've pretty much finished my lab assignment. So just to be sure, we know where our lab is supposed to be. It's in a physical spot here. It's inside this thumb drive. We open up our SR1 Labs and my folder should be in there. There's my lab folder, and inside my folder should be my first lab. Later on, there'll be lab 2 and 3 all inside this folder. So that's our end goal, is to have a neat organized storage. And for the rest of your life, you can use this as your kind of plan for storing and organizing your sessions. Is how most studios do it. Make a separate folder for each artist And another thing you want to do, like I said, you always want to label your tracks before you actually record them. So hopefully this helps you guys out in achieving your lab assignment #1 in Studio Recording 1. Thanks.